Well, hello, all you moms and dads out there. I can't even talk today. Pretty excited. These three dads, we've been pretty hot in the past like 3 weeks. So hopefully you've been tailing. I'm pretty shitty at posting my picks, but Joey Cheese, the DGen himself, is very good at it. Hazmat Suit, also really good at it, and posting some pretty funny ass videos too, of himself in an empty stadium rooting for whoever the other night. But we got this, four idiots. Neil Bucket Boy unfortunately couldn't make it today. His wife is having an emergency root canal, so pray for her. I've never had any teeth surgery, really, minus my wisdom teeth, but I've heard that is a real mother effer. So yeah, it's gonna be the three dads today, and we're gonna go over our favorite picks. But Joey and I, we're trying to think of a name for our common plays. We're 2-0 in the last 2 days. We got two more we're gonna give out today that we both really like. And
we should have started doing it like a month ago because
we should have.
We're like 14-3 or something. It feels like.
And what we're gonna have to do too, like Chris and I have always talked about it when we are on the same. Like you got to just hammer it, but we're both. Everyone here is a degenerate, so we're really shitty at tracking stuff. Like we don't care. The only thing we care about is winning or losing. We don't care about. I mean, at least me. I don't really care about posting a record. Like,
so I track all my stuff, but
yeah,
I track
my bank account. I track my bank account. So I mean that's up. So that's nice. But yeah, so we're gonna get in here, and I don't know if do either of you have a 9 a.m. game?
Yeah.
All right, you start with that.
All right, I'm going to pull the trigger on. It's disgusting. I think everyone's looking over it a little bit. We joked with Buff. Hope you're here, Buff. Syracuse.
Buff hates us.
But I'm going to go with the Seaman holes. I mean, the Seminoles of Florida State. It's disgusting. I think I see all the tickets, 60, 70% on Pitt. They're hot right now. They beat Miami recently. I think they might have beat Duke or someone else. They're rolling. North Carolina. So, and Florida State is really bad. 8-17. It's just one of those where it's all they do is just hang a 4 out there, 4.5, dangle it.
It was 5.5 last night too.
Yeah. So the line's coming my way. I like it. So I'm going to go ahead and take the home dog, FSU.
What'd you get that at? You got it at +4?
Yeah, I'm going down my books list right now. I think 4.5 still. Yeah, 4.5.
So yeah, I mean, if anyone's listening to this live, I mean, you're going to want to get the best number because it's looking like that's coming down. Pretty decent. Like I'm showing 40. Like it's pretty split, but I'm with Chris. Shocker. Chris
I like that too. The other day I saw one that seemed kind of split, and I like that. It means okay, so 5 people walk in, bet Pitt, 5 people walk in, bet Florida State, but the line, that means probably there's the big guys like Cheese that have deep pockets are on my side.
Wish that was probably. There is a 12 o'clock game I wanted to talk about. I did not get to the window on it, but I have a couple friends that told me they wanted to tune in this morning. They wanted to hear my thoughts on it. Providence, St. John's. I know CT Bet, who's a good friend of ours, gave out St. John's this morning. That's the side I was looking to play. Ultimately, didn't get to the window. Just Providence is one of those teams that just absolutely kills me every time I play against them. I could just never seem to be on the right side of their games. But Providence is 13-3 against the spread in their last 16. That certainly didn't help me get to the window on St. John's. St. John's 0-6 in their last 6. 1-5 straight up in their last 6 games. But the number looked a little short to me, led me to believe that possibly Providence was a little square here. But I will not be involved financially, but just throwing it out there that if I did have a 12 o'clock Eastern Standard Time play, it would probably be St. John's. But ultimately, it was a pass for me. I know we talked about it in our group chat, not only last night, but also again this morning. I didn't know if either one of you guys pulled the trigger or not. Because if you did, I might tail, but not a play that I'm going to be giving out.
Yeah, same. I mean, like, I'm definitely leaning hard. Like, I want to, but I think, the whole point of Fade You originally was to teach average bettors what to do and what not to do. And I mean, I don't want to say we, but I especially still do occasionally the what not to do's. So, the past 3 weeks, I've just been very selective. And, this week I think I have 1L, and it was on Duke Monday night. Should have faded Den. But, haven't lost one since. And, it's not like I've been betting a lot. I think there's only 6 games other than that. But I'm really trying to only focus on 3 games. I know it might get the 5. Last Saturday was ridiculous. I ended up betting 10 games and going 9-1. But that was just because the AM slate went off. I'm like, whatever, I'm up. If these go 1-1, I can, it was just kind of, let's see.
Those are just the best Saturdays ever.
Yeah, it just, everything kept hitting. So I was like, okay, whatever. And it was just dumb. But I think, unless you're in that spot, you don't want to chase. Because, I mean, if you're chasing, chances are you're just not seeing things correctly.
Right. Don't forget, I know we as a group, I know I gave it out on Twitter. Don't forget, we cashed a ticket on Butler against St. John's just 2 or 3 nights ago. That crazy ending. Butler turned it over like 3 times in the last 30 seconds and almost blew it. That was such a good game.
Yeah.
But I mean, we just faded St. John's the other night.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I mean, the thing that's kind of keeping me from just pulling the trigger on St. John's too, because I really want some 9 a.m. action here on the West Coast, but the tickets for me, I see on Wager Talk are 43% of tickets, 37% of money. Like, if that was even reversed, I'm probably playing it. Like that would just, I know it's so minute, but I think that's what's helped me, just stay selective and just be like, okay, don't force it. Because if you play all these, chances are you'll go 1-1, in the long run, but you're still pissing away juice. So it's just not productive in the long run. To, for me, I'd love to go 3-0 today instead of 7-4.
CT Bets just text me, Curbello's out for St. John's. Oh, definitely not playing it now.
Yeah. I mean, that's brutal.
I thought you were going to say
in the next 5 minutes.
Yeah, we were talking about St. John's this morning, me and CT, and he gave it out. I liked it also. Like, I obviously almost bet it, and he just texted me, Curbello announced out for St. John's with a sad face. So,
oh man,
I'm certainly not getting to the window now. So disregard St. John's.
Yeah, I mean, that's perfect. Live update on the pod. That's what we want to do. So I guess we got one official play. Mr. Degen, do you have an official play for us?
I do. So I'll wait, and me and you could give out our 2 best bets that we're tag teaming together in a little bit. But just a little quick recap. Just want to go back. Like Kmart, also been smashing 6-0 this week. All plays posted, documented on Twitter. 16-2 my last 18, which is like remarkable. And 79% my last 3 weeks at 26-7. Which obviously is unsustainable, but let's enjoy the ride. Let's enjoy the ride while it's hot, right?
But see, that's my thing. If you're being consistent and selective, like why can't you? Like, I understand, but if you go back and look at some of these games, it's not like you're getting lucky on a bunch of them.
Oh my God, we won so many blowout winners.
There's so many blowout winners.
I've turned so many games off at halftime in the last 3 weeks. Like, it's been unbelievable.
Like even Ohio, we were kind of concerned with that line movement last night, but to me, it didn't faze me at all because I was looking at, I texted you. I was like, guys, I'm leaning Buffalo, I'm leaning Niagara, and similar to what I said a minute ago, 1-1. So I'm glad I stayed off because I would have just pissed, a little bit of juice. And Ohio kind of never in doubter.
Not being on the right side there.
Yeah. I mean, we had 1.5 early in the morning, and fucker went all the way up to 2.5. So we're a little concerned, but there's plenty of reasons why that stuff happens. But yet, go back.
Worked out good. So I got 3 best bets today. I'll give out Florida. I played Florida at -8.5 early this morning. I think it's up to -9 now. Florida's coming off 2 losses. Vanderbilt's coming off 2 monster wins at home, who'd they beat? They beat Ole Miss, and just a couple nights ago they took out number 6 Tennessee at home. So now we got Vanderbilt traveling on the road in the SEC to Florida, where Florida is 6-2 in their last 8 versus SEC opponents. Castleton, I think, is a whole new beast here. The dude's a monster, averaging 17 and 8 boards a game. I like the dude. I think he goes off, and I think he feeds on this Vandy defense in the paint. So yeah, Florida's going to be a play for me. 3:30 Eastern Standard Time. I think Florida's good up to like 13 or 14 points here. I think they absolutely stomp Vandy. So we'll start with that one. Yeah, Florida -8.5, -9, whatever you get. I'm comfortable with either. We'll make that best bet number 1 for the show.
Awesome. Like, and the thing I like is when either one of you give out a heavy fave like that I wasn't really looking at, because I don't really look at point spreads. My home base is like anything under 5. That's where I think, I do really well on. And yeah, I mean, I'm looking at these tickets on Vandy, and, obviously they just beat Tennessee, and you might get me on that, Joey.
I heard from 2 different people today who I don't necessarily fade, but I don't respect their opinion. And they both told me Vanderbilt coming off 2 monster wins. I think they could win again here today. And I instantly go right to the board, and I'm like instantly looking to play the opposite side. And I found enough stuff that make me really like Florida. I think they win big today. I do.
Yeah. I mean, they very well could. And, I guess I'll go to me for one of, my favorite plays today. Hopefully I give out the right one here. So TCU, it was +1. It's down to a pick. I mean, both teams, Baylor, TCU, played pretty good offense. Baylor's number 1 efficiency, but TCU's defense is 14 efficiency, where I think, they can, get out on the fast break, get some easy buckets. Kind of a stinky line. Everyone's going to see Baylor, 14, TCU 17. It's just a pick 'em for the better team. And, it's funny. Up until last night, this game didn't really have my attention. Then I kind of dove in a little deeper. It's pretty even, honestly, but I just like a few of the metrics, on TCU, and just being, not really a home dog anymore, but just college basketball still has a home court advantage, especially in these later February going into March, and teams who really need to make a push. So, if you're ever in doubt, I mean, look at some of these games, like even USC Oregon the other night. I mean, USC probably the better team, but Oregon, very tough place to play, and they beat the living hell.
Blew them out, beat the brakes off them.
Like from start to finish, just they had no chance. And it's like that for a lot. I mean, there's a lot of second half comebacks, but I mean, when you have small point spreads, I think you really want to be on the side of the home team, especially if they have an electric fan base, which TCU somehow does.
Imagine if Trig was in the crowd, that TCU would be like -5.5. This cat Trig's home court advantage with him in the stands is like wild.
And he and CT are at the Texas game, right?
Yeah, in a couple weeks. Yep.
Oh, in a couple. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, I saw that. I didn't know if that was today for West Virginia. It's like, man, that would be pretty fun.
Cool. Yeah, Texas. TCU was on my long list today. I mean, it was one of 9 games I had circled last night. I mean, it's the side I leaned. Didn't ultimately get to the window because, as we talked about prior, I think Baylor is a Final Four team, so I don't really want to step in front of them right now. I do think TCU is the right side here, but I just couldn't get to the window on it based on how high I am on Baylor. So, but obviously, good luck.
You just can't do it.
Obviously, rooting for you.
I appreciate that. All right, Dookie, what do you got for us? Got some more poop?
Yeah, we're gonna go out.
Does he have more poop? He's got so much more.
I might have to make it a poopy 12-pack today, boys. It's so disgusting out there. I'm gonna go to my old stomping grounds in Norman to the Lloyd Noble Center, and we're gonna Boomer Sooner this motherfucker today, boys, because that line's gross. Top 10 school coming to town, Atlanta, dangling a little 3 over the 12-12 Sooners, who have looked like ass. Got blown out by West Virginia recently, and just losing a lot of games. So lost by 10 in Waco last game. Just not looking in form.
Yeah, January 10th they got beat.
Yeah, and I mean they lost by 4 or 5, I think.
They've lost 6 of 7.
Yeah, 79-75, January 10th. Yeah.
And somehow they beat the shit out of Bama.
That was a double-digit spread, and all of a sudden it goes down to 3. So just smells like ass. I've been in that stadium, and it gets pretty fired up for when some big schools come to town. So,
wow, KU was minus 10.5 in that game.
That's what I just said, Cheese. I love you.
You're the best.
Double digits, and they barely squeaked that one out, and now they're gonna just say, "Oh, they'll win by 3," right? So, I think that was one of the most public sides you sent me to this morning, Cheese. So go.
It was highest ticket count at 2 different books was Kansas minus 3.5, I believe I sent you.
And now it's down. My book has 3, so it's coming down.
Yep.
Chris, are you okay? You just sound so. Where's the energy? You're just like, hum. I'm on with these dipshits again.
I'm sorry. This is my 11th straight day being sober, Dad. So I'm probably just, I need a beer. I need a cold beer.
Sounds fucking awful.
I'm only at
Sounds
8
awful.
days.
I'm drinking tomorrow for Super Bowl, though. I'm not watching that game without some libations.
If my coin toss flip doesn't win, then I might have to break my streak too. I'll just need something to help.
Or are you sober for February also?
Yeah, I mean, I drank last Friday. It was my wife's grandma's 90th, so we got a limo and some champagne. But apart from that, I'm gonna try to hold off until March Madness. We'll see.
I've been sober like 7 hours. Does that count?
That's good. You got to start somewhere.
Cheese will do it for us.
Yeah, right. Oklahoma was on my list, man. I almost got to we talked about that last night too. And you know what? I just look at it like I had 9
I think
games.
The text you sent was it's a must play. So for you to not be on it, you better log in and book that shit right now.
I'm probably going to jump on with you. I'm just not going to give it out. Yep.
So Joey, should we give out both of our?
I'll do the 2 o'clock game. I'll let you do the 7 p.m. game because that was your favorite.
All right.
Deal. All right. So my second best bet for today. Me and Kmart running our 2-0 record on shared plays, trying to make it 3-0 here. I'm going to Auburn plus 2.5 at home versus Bama. Auburn's 11-1 at home. Auburn's won the last 2 meetings between themselves and Bama here. Coming off 2 losses the last 2 games. Auburn's lost 4 out of 5. I mean, it's probably about as ugly as it gets. I'm going to catch a lot of shit for this one. I know you guys like it too. I think Auburn's in a good spot here to bounce back. They got 3 guys averaging double figures. Green, Broom, and Williams all averaging double figures. I think they could score here against this Bama team, who the recipe, I believe, to beat Bama, because I think Bama is one of the best teams in the country, is you cannot let them shoot efficiently from the three-point line. Their last 3 games, I have this written down somewhere, 15, 17, and 19 made three-pointers in their last 3 games. If Auburn could slow them down and stop them from shooting the lights out from distance, I think Auburn can win this game. I do. I think they could win this game. Auburn clearly has a home court advantage, being 11-1 at home. I like them to defend home court today. So my official play here will be Auburn plus 2.5 with a little sprinkle on the money line. So let's go Auburn.
Yeah, and that's probably the funny thing is, you said if the one thing that Bama does really well is shoot the three, 35% this year. But the one thing Auburn does not do, so for a 15 ranked defensive efficient team, they are one of the worst. Actually, no, excuse me. They're one of the best. I was looking at the wrong side. So they suck at shooting the three, but they're very good at defending it.
Auburn can't shoot the three, but they could stop it.
Absolutely. Exactly. Which is funny because if you remember, 4 years ago, they got so hot from behind the three. They were the team I was riding in the tournament. Like it was just nuts. But yeah, that's honestly where you look at this game. Both teams are phenomenal defensively, but when you just look at one metric, Dave, that Auburn play smells like a turd. Thanks for watching, Dave. But man, that's probably the one part that makes me like it. When I was looking at this, Auburn can defend a three, and they have had their moments shooting the three. So
I looked at it last night, Kmart, and I said to myself, if Auburn could stop them from shooting the lights out from deep, I don't see how Auburn can't win this game.
Yeah, I was watching the LSU game, and they covered, but they end up losing by 9. But that was a close game. LSU was hanging, but every other possession, Bama was just draining a three. So, like you said, if they can just stop them, I mean, obviously we know Auburn's a much better team than LSU, so they can stop that. They should be right in position to win.
Yeah, when Bama's making their threes, they're the best team in the country. You're not going to stop them. But I mean, obviously, we break this game down, we know Auburn has to defend the perimeter. I'm hoping they step it up today. I think it's a good spot. They've proven all season they could stop teams from shooting the three. So they're obviously going to have to do it versus Bama today.
100%. So I think what we'll do here is go back to Duke here, since my second is Auburn, and then I'll give out my play, and Joey will chime in since it's his third as well.
Are you guys going to do tech?
Yeah,
there are.
Okay. I'm debating. Maybe I'll just do them both. We'll do a bonus play, but we don't have to count it. I'm either going to do Stanford at home but I'll probably just give out the most disgusting play of the day, which is Louisville plus 20, whatever you can get.
I couldn't believe there's hesitation. I
knew you were going there. I knew it.
I think I saw it open 21 and a half. It's all the way down to 20. I even see 19 and a halves out there. So, and the action's pretty split.
I haven't seen one Louisville ticket except for you.
I have to. I texted on Tuesday or Wednesday, whenever the fuck Miami raped Duke. I said I have to be on Louisville. Louisville loses by 20 or 30. Miami beats the brakes off of Duke by 21. And now Louisville, who's 3-99, is only getting 20. You're telling me they can't beat that Louisville by more than they beat Duke? Free money, right? So I have to be on it. I hope they just hang in the first half and then maybe lose by like 15 in the second or something like that. So, but go Cards.
Yeah, I mean, you got me on that the other day too, because I think that game. I think Miami beat the shit out of Duke on Monday. because as I was saying earlier on this pod, that's the only bet I've lost all week. And unfortunately, I chased at halftime, took Duke second half, double pisser. So
you got denned. You got denned.
I got bent over each way. And yeah, I got denned for sure. So yeah, I mean, that leaves me. My favorite play on the card is Tech. It was plus 1.5. It's down to a pick.
This is Kmart and Cheese's pick number 4.
Yeah, this is our second for today, and our fourth in 3 days. So we're 2-0, hoping for 4-0 here. Obviously, we pick these games and are selective because we do expect to win all of them. We really do, and we're pissed when we lose. I break shit, but. But Tech's that team, man, where they're streaky as hell, and I think everybody sees how well Kansas State's playing. Ken Paul makes this line -2. We've been hearing, other people just can't play Tech because Kansas State should be favored by more. God, that's why you play these games. You got 12-12 Tech team who has lost 3, 6, 8. They are 2-10 in their last 12. But their strength of schedule is pretty nuts. So this is a potential, like, whatever they call it, not final 4 team, but last 4 in. There we go. If they can squeak out some of these, look at their schedule: Kansas State, Texas, West Virginia, Oklahoma, TCU, Kansas, Oklahoma State. They're not projected to win one of these games, but their defensive efficiency, they're not as good as they've been in years past. They're kind of middle of the pack in both offense, defense, where you got Kansas State just playing really well.
But Kansas State just absolutely raped TCU the other night.
Yeah. And I forget his name, but they're one of their best player really, is coming back from one of those episodes like DeMar Hamlin had. So
Johnson, the transfer from Florida, the kid's good.
Yeah, he's phenomenal. Really good. Like, probably should have never ran ever again in his life, and here he is just chasing his dream. And how do you not cheer for that guy?
I actually like their little point guard, that kid Noel too. He's like 4'7".
Just they're shit from fun to watch. Chris needs medication. I'm just seeing these. Oh man!
But he said I need medication.
Yeah, pics from Dave. Oh man! But nice. This line smells like shit.
I want to add a couple things to this game.
Yeah, go. You go. I'm tired of rambling.
So when these two teams met earlier in the season. Shout out Duke for fixing my notes last night, my proofreader. K-State beat them. What was it? They beat them by 10 as 3.5-point favorites. Now they come back and open at -1. All of America is on K-State, and now that line drops to a pick. Get out of here. I'm all over Texas Tech. My favorite play of the day by a country fucking mile. Yep. Texas Tech had their worst shooting performance of the season in that matchup. They shot 30. They shot 32%.
I was texting you guys. I don't remember the last time Tech made a basket. It was like 7 minutes. I was like, what the fuck?
They shot 32% from the floor in that game, and they only lost by 10.
Yeah.
Yeah. Give me Texas Tech for fucking $1 million tonight. Yeah. Oh, also, not to mention, Texas Tech has 5 players who average double digits. Yeah. Good luck stopping them tonight, fucking K-State. Good luck. Kevin O'Banner is going to go fucking off tonight. Senior forward, kid averages like 16 a game. Love him tonight. I think he drops 25.
I love it. I'm adding. And you have me logging in and adding more on them.
Yeah. The fact that they were -3.5 and win by 10 and come back after everyone just witnessed K-State beat the brakes off of TCU. Yeah, right. Comes back 1.5 down to a pick. Love this spot.
and Tech's been playing like shit. They've lost what 3 in a row or something.
Kmart just said it. They're like 2-70 their last 72 games. Yeah. I mean, Kmart was right though. I mean, Texas Tech has played an absolute gauntlet of a schedule. I was actually just looking at it right there. So let me see. Their last 10: Oklahoma State, Baylor, Iowa State, LSU, who one of their wins, West Virginia, Kansas State, Baylor, Texas, Iowa State, Oklahoma. I mean, there's like nowhere in that schedule like to get right. You just it's gauntlet after gauntlet after gauntlet. I mean, we all talked about this last night in our group chat. We all unanimously loved Texas Tech, and I knew I was going to be on them. I knew it would. My favorite play of the day by I don't even want to talk about it anymore. I'm slamming Texas Tech, and you guys know what that means.
2K, 3K.
Yeah, I mean, probably won't go that crazy, but yeah, a couple units, probably 2 units. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see how the early slate goes. I might add to it later. We'll see. But don't be shocked when Texas Tech wins this game by 10.
Hell no.
By 10?
Should we alt? I'm gonna alt line it.
I gave out Georgia on the pod 7 different alternate lines, and they won 65-7 or whatever the fuck it was. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, I
love it.
Honestly, neither would I. I mean, again, it's down to a pick, so obviously we expect Tech to win this game, and it is what it is at this point.
Yep.
Awesome.
Anyone else have any other games? I have a couple games I almost got to the window on.
I know you mentioned that last night, the fading Zona cheese. I saw 9.5 last night, and now I see a book at 7.5, even though all the action's on Arizona. That's a disgusting home dog that I'm going to for sure probably be on.
I might be on that with you. Is that late night, like during Cheese's sleepy time?
Close, but I think it's like, 8 o'clock. You won't be in bed yet.
8 o'clock my time?
Yeah.
I'll be passed out on the couch, hammered. Yeah. Yeah, I like that side also. 2 other sides, just for people listening, if you're looking for more stuff. I almost got to the window on Illinois. We talked about that as a group in our group chat. And I almost got to the window on Michigan. Couldn't quite pull the trigger on either. Michigan's 9-1 in their last 10 meetings with Indiana. Indiana is 1-5 this season as a dog, catching 3 today after beating who they just beat, Rutgers and number 1 Purdue. First glance looking at that game, it's like, wow, Indiana getting 3 points. Like, how free is that, right? But Michigan's not a team that I want to back ultimately, and that's what stopped me from betting them. Although I do think it's the right side. So just throwing that out there. Anyone had a
same with Illinois, right? Illinois is favored over barely ranked Rutgers, right? That's the right side probably.
Yeah, Rutgers is 0-3, their last 3 as a dog. Illinois 8-1 in their last 9 against the spread. Terrence Shannon, kid from from Illinois, is absolutely filthy. I think he's one of the best players in the Big Ten. That Baylor transfer, the kid with the fucking mullet, Matt Mayer, kid from Baylor, is pretty good, giving him like 12, 13 points. But yeah, Terrence Shannon's just so filthy. He's one of my favorite players in the country. But yeah, Illinois was a strong lean for me too. Just couldn't quite get there.
Look who just joined us. We now got the 4 idiots.
Let's go.
Yeah, we have to get Neil's
just in time for your play.
I made it just in time. Sorry, dropped the wife off for a root canal. I got the kids. We got baseball practice here in fucking an hour. But we're going real quick. So I think Cheese mentioned
we're live.
Shut the fuck up. Cheese mentioned, I was listening. Cheese mentioned it earlier, right? The reason he liked Florida, right? Vandy coming off a monster, what they had no business beating Tennessee just the other night. I said the guys to the group, I love Santa Clara, right? At 4 p.m. West Coast time. They're home. They're taking off LMU. Chris was in the building. Imagine that. LMU, their last game just on Thursday night. They take down
St. Mary's.
St. Mary's, right, in overtime, court stormed. You've got to turn around 2 days later now, and you're heading off to LMU, right? LMU laying 5. Love fading what we just saw, right? How is LMU going to lose after coming off that? Of course they are. So Santa Clara, let Santa Clara court storm.
I love the fade what we just saw angle. Like we talk about it all the time amongst ourselves. Like absolutely love that.
Right. And then, right, everyone, you're out there, you're going to catch 5, taking the team that just took down St. Mary's. No, yeah. I'll lay it with Santa Clara.
And I mean, you look at the final score. You know, obviously, I was in the building. They were down 4 late. They very well could have lost by 6 or 7, but a guy hits a 3 late, makes it a 1-point game, and somehow a guy St. Mary's missed the free throw. It lands on 2, and the guy makes a big bucket with as time expires. So that game ends up, it very well could have been, okay, now we're not talking about it today, but they get a huge, OT win, probably the biggest win in their history, knocking off a, huge ranked team. So,
Buckets, did you say you like Florida too?
Yeah, for the same reason. Right? Yeah,
you did. Awesome. So Santa Clara, Florida.
Yeah. When Vandy hit that shot to beat Tennessee, I knew I was autoplay whoever Vandy was playing. It's one of those moments. It's 100%. Like it's an auto play. You fade Vandy their next game. They won their Super Bowl. Their season's done. They're good. They're wrapped up. Like call it a season. We beat Tennessee.
Yeah, you got a third for us?
No, I was up all fucking night with the wife in miserable pain.
Damn. Well,
I love that you just dropped back in after texting the group 30 minutes ago. Not going to make it.
I didn't think I was. I didn't know if I was going to hang. I didn't know if I was going to hang out at the dentist that long. I didn't know what, and I didn't know how long you guys were going to go. So,
can you ask her what pain is worse, a root canal or childbirth?
Yeah, I'll ask.
Just out of curiosity.
I think if you ask her that, she's going to punch you in the face.
She's going to say root canal. That's my root canal is probably minus 220.
I was actually thinking she was going to say that as well, but I'm just curious. And if she gets offended somehow, which I don't think she will, just blame it on me since I asked.
She won't care.
Nelly, I don't know if you missed it, but CT Betts texted me right at the beginning of our show. Curbelo is out for St. John's.
For St. John's, I listened to that. That's big. You got to stay away. I mean, you got to stay away. I don't know if you fade the line movement. If it moves, I haven't looked to check how much it's moved. So maybe you come back and fade the line movement. If you're getting
just making sure you heard that because we talked about that in our group chat a little bit.
Yeah.
The line is still 4.5. I might have to take Poopy St. John's.
He's a big piece of that. That's
how is it not? Why doesn't it?
How's it not moving
a little bit?
I mean, that's still the side I would play. I mean, so.
Does anybody like Oregon tonight plus 2.5?
I was gonna say a little bit. I wish they hadn't blown out USC.
Right.
For multiple reasons, I'd like it more. I'm wearing my Trojan stuff right now, but that was the only thing that I'll have to take a look. I wish that game was closer because
every good gambler I know is on Oregon tonight. The only thing keeping me off of it is, like you just said, what we just saw.
Yeah.
I mean, just an absolute rout 2 nights ago.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to get back. I'm not going to back them tonight, but every good gambler I know is on them. So I tend to believe it's the right side.
Yeah, and UCLA's off just that cupcake, right? This is the double of their Oregon road trip. So they had Oregon State, which they blew out, hold Oregon State, I think, to 47 points or whatever it was the other night. Like they walked through that game and had no problem. So it's not like they're coming off of anything. So I don't know how I feel about that one. But
can we talk about how ugly Oregon's home court is? Gives me a headache watching them on TV.
Yeah, I know.
Between them and Baker,
that's probably why they win at home because other teams are like, "What is this shit?"
It looks like they're playing like in a forest. It's disgusting.
Yeah, it's terrible. All right, well, anybody got anything else? We'll these guys will post. I suck at tweeting, but they'll post if we add anything, if we degen anything. But I think that's everything. So again, we got Tech, Auburn, TCU, Florida State, Oklahoma, Louisville, Florida. Cheese and I again on Auburn and Tech together, and then Buckets himself, Santa Clara, and Florida. So
I'm definitely adding Santa
Yeah.
Clara to my list.
yeah,
I'm
same.
definitely tailing buckets with that. I think it's the right side.
Yeah,
We're
I
down
think
in
you guys are
the
getting me on
dirty
both.
South today. We're getting down dirty in the South with all our plays.
A lot of
Yeah,
plays.
I know. I think I'm just gonna play all of them because I'm like, why not?
I bet
So-
6 games all week might end up with more than 6 plays on Saturday.
Oh,
Yeah.
definitely.
Today.
Yeah, today's nuts. But yeah, no, I mean, thanks for listening. I think we want to keep these around 40 minutes. Now we got 15 minutes before these games start to finalize anything else. Thanks for
Postmark.
listening. I mean, I see, 4 live viewers on YouTube. That's an all-time record for
Yeah.
anything Fade You. I mean, that's kind
For
of cool.
YouTube, that's
Climbing
good. Yeah, for
into-
YouTube, that was good.
Yeah, for YouTube. I mean, that's kind of
Yeah.
cool. For not Facebook, but Twitter. It's a lot more.
Fire
So
it
yeah,
up.
thanks again. We're gonna try to do this, every Saturday morning leading up to March Madness, and
Let's stay hot, boys.
yeah, let's stay
Cool.
hot. Let's win some cheese. Let's win some cheddar.